Good morning to everyone. Masyado nating overblown po yung issue. Wala naman no may bibigay na yung US, kundi 1% na lang talaga kasi sagad na rin yung binigay sa Pilipinas. Pag pag-aaralan niyo po kasi yung mga taripa na binigay sa buong mundo, ang Pilipinas na ang pangalawa sa pinaka-the best, the most concessional rate that was given on a total package to any country. The only one that's better than us is Malaysia. The comparison with Indonesia na tumawag lang pero binababa from 32 to 19, pero ang effective rate nila is 12%. Tayo ay 6%, 6.62%. So ibig sabihin, mas mababa pa po tayo kaysa Indonesia. Depende po kasi yan sa complexion ng export nyo sa US. Ang Pilipinas kasi ay we have probably the most unique product offering in the world, which is really our semiconductor and our electronic, which were exempted. In other words, dun po sa Trump tariffs. Doon naman sa Malaysia, kaya ano sila ang the best offer, sila nakakuha ng mas mababa kaysa atin, ay dahil po ang in-exempt ay oil. So, para pumunta ng Divisoria, pag bumibili ka ng tela, bibili yan, nakalagay doon 20, pero mamaya yan, ang babayaran mo lang 12. So, parehas din po yan. Ang, kumbaga, yung nominal rate, 19, pero the actual rate that we will pay in terms of the effective rate arising from the Trump tariffs is really 6.6%, not 19%. So, yung 1% is the best that the US. Pero far more than that, number one, sinabi ko na nga kanina na nandun po dahil yung product offering natin, we are offering the US things that they really need because what the US wants is to manufacture at home. So, ang meron ng Pilipinas is our intermediate products like semiconductor. At ang isa sa sikreto ng Pilipinas na hindi natin masyado pinapahalagaan, ang pinakamalaga pong component po ng mga semiconductor ay gold. Ang Pilipinas po ay mayaman sa gold. Hindi lang po natin na masyado napapalagaan yan. So, ang pangalawa po dyan, pero hindi po yung ganun kalaki ha. Ang sinasabi ko lang, yung ating pong, yung yaman na yun po ay isa sa nagbibigay po sa atin kung bakit dito ba naglalagay yung mga yan ng semiconductor? Bakit dito ba naglalagay yung mga electronic? Dahil nandito po yung natural resource na kailangan nila, yung raw material. Yung pangalawa, isitway to natin yung buong transaction kaakibat po sa the biggest gain that we got was finally, sinabi na ng US na kasama ang South China Sea, ang West Philippine Sea sa definition ng MDP. It was never said during Obama, during Biden, but finally, dito po sa pagpunta, sinabi ni Defense Secretary Ellsworth na kasama po, ano ba pagkasabi? Anywhere in the Pacific. So, ang kasama po, but it's specifically including the South China Sea. That is one of the biggest gain that we got. At ang iba po sa nakuha pa natin dyan, this pact extends to armed attacks on our armed forces, aircraft, or public vessels, including our Coast Guard, anywhere in the Pacific, including the South China Sea. This has never been said in history, since the history of the MDT. I consider that to be a big gain for the Philippines. But since wala naman tayong balang makipagyera, pag tinignan mo po the big, beautiful bill, ang dami po doon. Sa Indo-Pacific Security Assistance, may $4 billion kung saan tayo pwedeng makinabang. Nandun po yung Resiliency Fund for the Pacific, 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion for stockpile replenishment at ang tinatarget po talaga nila, Subic, 1.2 billion. So, Tapos may mga technical assistance po nakaakibat doon. In-out na rin ng US yung buong buo. So, hindi nila in-underestimate. I don't think they downgraded the In fact, they went all the way just to make President Marcos report to the Philippines that he made substantial gains and concessions from the US. Pagdating pa lang sa trade, the second most concessional except for Malaysia is really the Philippines. And the differential is only what? 2%? Tapos meron pa tayong mga technical assistance para sa Luzon Economic Corridor na $50 million at $48 million in additional foreign assistance. Tapos, ito, binanggit ni Presidente Marcos, 21 billion. Siguro naman, hindi siya basta-basta makakapagsalita niya na nandun po siya, na may mga pledges na gano'n. I think the US went out of its way to tell that the Philippines, it is more than, although it's not at par with JPEPA, which is the Japanese Economic Partnership Agreement, but at least it is close to it. Kasi ang bottom line, pag hinabol mo, ang dulo nito, kaya bakit zero in-offer ni Marcos? Kasi nga, gusto natin sila pumatol na sa isang free trade agreement with the Philippines, which will be most beneficial, especially to our product lines, like yung ating pong mga produkto na may mga matataas na tariff. Ngayon, katulad ng mangga, katulad po nung iba pa ng mga produkto natin, na yun ang kailangan protektahan. May mga pangako po sa green energy, sa infrastructure, acquisition po ng 40% sale ng Aboitiz Infra Capital by BlackRock, $500 million in hospital development by Bonsecure, Mercy Health. That's not small, that's huge. And Subic Ammunition Plant, which I already said. So, and of course, ngayong abagat, nangako din sila na tutulong sila, lalong-lalo na sa amin doon sa Bicol, pag-abagat. Ang western side namin talagang ginugulpi ng southwest monsoon. So, all in all po, ang dala-dala po niya ay maraming basket. Ay nakatingin lang kayo doon sa basket ng trade. And not everything is trade. You should look at it as a more comprehensive economic partnership, although not as comprehensive as the one we have with Japan.
So walang epekto sa atin walang side effect, walang masamang epekto sa atin yung so-called offering na zero tariff.
Itong lahat-lahat na to, positive sa Philippines. It puts us in a very positive position vis-a-vis our neighbors, especially against our other neighbors like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, except Malaysia. And Malaysia simply because they don't want na may bibili sa Venezuela. So, importante yung langis ng Malaysia in that sense.
This will hurt coconut farmers the most, or the agriculture sector the most.
Wala naman po kasi annex to sa agri eh. So, in other words, subject siya sa tariff, no?
Yung existing.
Oh, yung existing. Pero wala, kumbaga, differentially, wala naman nung nagbago. Hindi naman nung inakyat, hindi naman nung binaba. Wala lang siya dun sa Annex 2. So, before Trump, 1.4% yung weighted average tariffs ng buong Pilipinas. Tapos, bigla siya nag-announce, yung actually, pag-announce ni Trump, yung average natin was only 6.65. Tapos, nung pumunta si Marcos sa US, ginawa niyang 6.33. Kasi yung 1%, dun yun sa 19, yung top line, yung headline. Pero pag binaba mo na dun sa sangkaterba, ewan ko kung ilang produkto yan. na mga 8,000. So, ang average is 6.33. Compare mo sa Indonesia, yung all products nila before Trump, ano, made in China dito. Before Trump, ang Indonesia is 4.11%. In April, which is the Trump tariffs, is 20.92. Tapos, yung tumawag si Widodo, si Prabowo, naging 12.45. So, doble pa rin kaysa sa Pilipinas. So, hindi ang importante po talaga dito na we need to disaggregate para makita natin. Pero on the whole, siyempre pwede pa tayong maghanap na pwedeng idagdag doon sa annex na magiging which would benefit from preferential rates. But I think the Philippines got the best deal except for Malaysia.